My name is Maisie Fields. I am a licensed massage therapist and I've been practicing for the past 25 years. I grew up in a house in an environment where it was called marijuana and it was bad. You know, and we were taught, I remember the DARE videos where they just literally would scare the shit out of you, right? These DARE videos, or just like these old things where they would show like, I remember watching, it was like a documentary of some sort. And I remember there were these like old like things on marijuana and how it would just show, it was like these old films that they made of like in the 40s and 50s. And they were like talking about how like people were out of their mind. And I mean, but that was the mentality, even up into, you're talking about small town Texas, even now, honestly. I mean, it's a lot more accepted. Now, I wouldn't say as bad as it was, but we're talking about at that time, like the 80s. And even in the early 90s, I lived here, and yes, a lot of people smoke pot. I didn't know what pot smelled like until I was 18 years old. I wasn't around it. And I'll also say on that same note, I didn't come from a family where massage would have been something. I just decided that was what I was going to do when I was 18. I was like, I don't know why. I'd never had a massage in my life. My first one was in massage school. Point is it's like, I don't usually kind of go with, I've always been that person that even in that environment, even in that culture, even being brought up the way I have, I was always like, I knew that there was something else to kind of unlock and that there was a different way. In the morning, if it's getting close to a massage, I'd say about an hour before. So if I have a massage at home at like 10 o'clock, an hour before that, I will go ahead and take the Rice Krispie treats. Okay, and I like the cinnamon ones. I'm very partial to them. I like the chocolate ones, but I don't know. I eat both of them, and I always get both of them because I get the special, and I get both kinds. So it's like, and that's also the one that my partner tends to gravitate towards as well. He will not eat the gummies. He is not a vapor smoker. I mean, shoot, I would love it if someone was using THC during a massage with me, honestly, because, you know, that would make them, and then just think you could just, that makes them kind of aware sometimes too. If they have the presence of mind to use it in a massage, then they're going to be aware. Because you're kind of in that state of awareness, you can slow down. I like to call it like slowing down time. You kind of have that ability, right? So if you could slow down, you're like, man, where does this go? So then where did it go? Went up here in the back of the neck. I don't know if we ever even turned Lucas over. I think we might have at the end and gotten more into that. But I'm saying that is how intensive it will take you right to it. Because there was one point I remember in this last massage that we got to this point and where I felt like I needed to go. I was like, Lucas, stay with me here. It was in the top of his head. And I'm like, where is this going? And he's like, oh man, that's sore. That feels good. So it was something. It was connected to whatever was happening in this middle of, it's just crazy, but it's all connected. You just have to figure out where to go. And now that problem that he's had, he doesn't even have it anymore. It's not like we had to put together a plan to work on it over time. He said that it's done. It's fixed. It was a 3.5 hour massage, but I can tell you that he was like, it's over. When you're doing what you need to do and you're being productive in the body like that, time flies when you're having fun. I'll just tell you that right now. It is hard and taxing on the body because it's not just, okay, yeah, you're standing on your feet for, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, an hour and a half. At the end of the day, I'm physically tired. I'm mentally tired from just like the energy of people coming in and out and just draining me, you know? I just am like, okay, well, I'm home. I'm going to go and I have a big, huge tub. I'm going to go take a hot bath. Okay, well, I'm going to go and I'm going to get my vape and I'm going to hit it a few times. And that is just the perfect evening for me. That is just the perfect end to a 12-hour day. Exactly. I've been doing sound baths and that is one of the most fun. It's like little treats for myself. So I'll set them up like, I'm going to go to a sound bath. So I'm gonna take about 25 milligrams or whatever, and then I'm gonna go do that. And it's great. And I just want to also, while I'm on this, because I'm thinking about night and how I use it at night, I want to also add that I have very difficult sleeping disorders. One, because I'm blind and I don't know. There's just different reasons why I think it's like it's a high percentage of blind people have sleeping disorders of some kind. Because there's different theories. Part of it's the stimulation, just not getting, I don't have light perception. So, but I can tell you this, I don't know when the last time I had a bad night. I think there was one off night in the past year, and it was recently. And it might have been because who knows? It might have been because I didn't take anything. So a lot of times at night, I'll take a gummy or maybe I'll take 25, whatever, if I'm going to go to sleep. And even just the way that I use it throughout the day, I think it helps me sleep better. If Lucas and I had never had that conversation about intentional use, so I had already started kind of doing that. I just didn't realize what it was called. I had started being like, well, I'm going to take one and I'm just going to I'm going to have this vape and I'm just going to hit it every once in a while. And just like, I'm not going to hit it very hard. I'm just going to try to see if I can maintain. I was already doing it, but I just didn't realize what it was called. And then having that conversation with Lucas and being aware that that was what I was doing, because I promise you, there's a bunch of people who will hear this and they would say, oh my God, I did not realize what I was doing. That's what I was doing. I was intentionally doing it. I was using intentionally. I think even since COVID, we have conditioned ourselves to shut stuff out because it was too much. And we're all, right? We're all a little bit from that. We're all a little bit kind of need to heal from that because I don't care who you were. There were things about COVID that were too hard for our minds to process. So, man, I wish I was intentionally doing it that time. I do. I wasn't. But at that time, I had started laying a foundation for that. So if you don't know if you're intentionally, if you're not quite sure, think about other things. So before I started doing other things, intentionally driving those unnecessary things out of my mind. I stopped watching TV during COVID. And I know a lot of people did. So there's other people who are going to be like me and be able to say, okay, yeah, that was my first thing. That was the first step I took towards turning off my mind.
We get, and that's actually, I would say, probably one of the most common things we get for people, reaching out and actually trying our products in the first place, because we do get a lot of those, people that come from small towns. They're like, I've never tried anything like this before.
Absolutely.
But I remember specifically, I had one lady who said she had not gotten a full, night's sleep in, I think something like 4 or 5 years, because she had been dealing with insomnia. And then she tried one of our gummies, and for the first time in 5 years, she'd gotten a full 8 hours of sleep. And she was crying on the phone to me because she was like, I didn't know this was something I could try. I didn't know that, this would help with that. But now knowing that, I'm so grateful, and I will never go back, because of the relief it provides, specifically with sleep. Thank you for sitting down with us. We really appreciate it. And so glad that you're a fan of the products. That's the whole reason we make them, is for purposes like this. So it means a lot to hear it.
Yes.